Hey there, Heather. Hello, Jeff Cutter down. Welcome you to another Stone Cold Hockey video for the 74-75 NHL season. We have some great memories to share with you, I think. Well, I hope. Well, anyway, we're doing this thing. And right now, our Philadelphia Flyers. I'm doing the Flyers because I'm trying to do the repeat. We're 11-4-1, second in points to the Montreal Canadiens. We actually started the season with 4 straight ties. We were 10-3 since. We started off great. We were 9-0-1, and then we ended up having a 2-4 roll, so we're not doing that well as it seems. Bill Goldsworthy leads in goals with 15. Reggie Leach, our sniper, with 13. Rene Robert has 12. Eric Vale and Guy Lafleur also have double digits. Points wise, Marcel Dion leads with Rene Robert second. Pimo Helblich and McLeish tie for third. Goes against, Brady Prod's got the best, 178. Dan Bouchard, 179. And Gary Edwards, 189. Standings wise, the top 3 teams in each division will make the playoffs. The top team in each division get a bye. So many teams have played 14. Atlanta's have played 18. They played the most. Points percentage wise, the Rangers would technically be ahead of Atlanta because they have 4 games in hand. And, well, Chicago, Vancouver, St. Louis, Philly, Atlanta, Boston, Buffalo, Toronto, and Montreal, LA, Pittsburgh. Highlights. You know that our best win was 9-2 against Kansas City. Our worst loss was 5-2 against those pesky cupcakes. Vancouver hasn't actually lost a game by more than 2 goals. Their worst loss was 3-1 to St. Louis. Wow. We beat Vancouver. Yeah, I thought we beat Vancouver by at least 3. Chicago hasn't lost a game by more than 2 goals. 10 players for hat tricks. Lever, Leach, Robert, Marks, Dion, Fail, Olioson. Wilf Paymont scored a hat trick even though they lost the game, and Bob Nevin with a hat trick. Memorable games. Number 1 right now, Toronto, Chicago from October 26th when Pierre Hamel, of all freaking people, beat Tony Esposito and ruined the Blackhawks' 7-game unbeaten streak. Buffalo over Montreal December 27th when Montreal was up 3-1 and choked 4 straight goals coming up. And Boston, Minnesota from October 30th when Boston was just it was down 2-0. Absolutely. Anyway, we go to the Rangers November 13th. So we go to New York, and it will be Shields Vermeulen in the net against Brady Perrant. Our backups are Wayne Stevenson and Bobby Taylor. The Rangers have Ed Jacobin, who's kind of slowing you down, with Kurt Riley and Doug Wilson. Our players are Reggie Leach, the Griffin rival. Rick McLeish, pretty good player. Bill Barber, Kitchener. Our captain, Bobby Clark. Russ Lonsberry. Bill Clement, who would be a good color commentator for the NHL and ABC and ESPN, of course. Gary Dornhofer, who would be a color commentator for the rival CBC. Andre Moose Dupont, Bob Hound Kelly, Aris Kindrachek, Don Big Bird Seletsky, Tom Bladen, who once had 8 points in a road game against the Seals, Dave the Hammer Schultz, Terry Crisp, the 1989 Cup winner as coach of the Flames, Jimmy and Joe Watson, Larry Goodenough, Ed Van Imp, known for his powerful hits as Farley Harlamoff, Ted Harris, Bob Sawar, Serge Lochuarez, and Jack McElhaney. Well, Ray J. Have Steve Vickers, Calder Trophy winner, Rachel Bear, Rangers goals scoring leader, Children John Martel, Greg Police, Derek Sanderson, who was in a bad environment and it only became worse. Baylor Fairburn, Pete Stamkowski, former Leaf and Polish rival, Rick Middleton before he went to Boston, and no, it was not part of the Phil Esposito deal. He was traded for Ken Hodge Sr. Ted Irvin, whose son Chris became a wrestler known as Chris Jericho. Jerry Butler, future Leaf. Brad Park, great defenseman, would then go to Boston, and things look bad. Well, Kachuk, Kitchener, former Kitchener Ranger. Ron Greschner, great defenseman, and well, he would get better and better. But anyway, Bert Wilson, Gilles Marat, Nick Beverly, future head coach of the Leafs, Bobby Russo, John Bednarski, Dale Rolfe, Ron Harris, one of the guys who was responsible for inadvertently killing Bill Masterton, Bob McMillan, Jerry Holland, Jill Sanusi, who was to throw in to Boston in the Espo trade, Dave Maloney, Kitchener, and Heartland Monahan. Here we go. Everyone. few minutes later, Enforcer, and a fight. It's McLeish and Stamkowski, two guys who you don't think would fight, especially off them being great offensively. Bear has a chance, but no. They blew their chance. Yeah. Leach is our second best goal scorer. Stamkowski in the middle. It's by Park for 2. Can we take advantage? Bob Kelly gets hit. Rebotsky or Papa power play goal. The Riverton rifle. Leach is 14th. Jimmy Mack. Jimmy Watson with his third assist of the year. Penalties are done. Chetsky Oars. He does it again. The Riverton rifle from Manitoba. Well, Barbie Clark's from Manitoba. 3 minutes later, chance for Stamkowski now. 4 minutes later, the first skiers. Dord Huffer. Yum. His 5th from Moose Dupont and Reggie Leach. See, Leach can actually pass the puck. Final bullet. Bednarski, what a stop by Bernie Perron, showing why he's the goalie you should all frickin' fear. 2 minutes later, the Skiers, baby on board, how I adored Kitchener. You know, Barbershop Quartet, Homer's Barbershop Quartet. Yeah, I know. Bill Barber has 7 from Clement and Clark. Bill, Bobby. Bill, Bobby. That's funny. Much later. Turn the clock. We get penalized. It's Van Imp. Of course it would be. As I say, fuck the police. Great police, that is. His 5th from Stamkowski and Bednarski. 3 minutes later. The Butlers did it. 7th from Pendleton and 14. When they score, they score. No shot. Control. The Skiers, baby on board. Kitchener. Dunk Wilson's coming in because there's no way. His 2nd of the night from Clark and Ted Harris makes it 5-2. The 5-goal rule, right? Schultz and Greshner. Well, Enforcer Dubbers in a one-side beating. Well, yeah, of course. It's Hammer. They have to Hammer Schultz. Poor Gresh. They both trying to score a goal, but cannot. I'm actually surprised. I thought I talked about Del Rofe. I guess I didn't. 3 minutes later. We take a chance. Lonsberry trying to join the scoring parade, but can't. And we take a penalty. It's Bill Clement. Field the sun on Stamkowski and Park. Much later. Action by them? No. Trying to kill the clock. Agitators. Rangers get agitated, and Rattel retaliates and gets penalized. Do we take advantage? Gretzky, Pepper goal. Throw those hats on the ice. He scored a hat trick. Oh, wait, we're on the road. Okay, never mind. His 16th from Clark and Zaleski. Big Bird with the assist. Let's kill the clock. We killed the clock and we killed them. 6-2 is your score. Reggie Leach outscored the Rangers by himself. Oh, by himself. Flyers. Well, Dornhofer with 1. Bill Barber scored twice. That's pretty good. Pulis and Butler for the Rangers, but yeah, they're now 5-5-5. 5-5-5. 5-5. Philly's now 12-4-1. All right. Next day, Montreal faces Boston and ties 2-2. Well, it's Montreal, Boston. What do you expect? Buffalo crushes Minnesota to find powder. We go to Hotlanta next. Toronto beats Cal 3-1. Islanders beats Kansas City 2-1, and LA beats Vancouver 5-1. So we go to Atlanta, and it will be Bernie Perron in net against Dan Bouchard, who became a born-again Christian. Phil Meyer, the backup. They had a pretty good 2-goalie system in Atlanta with Bouchard and Meyer. They were both pretty good. Phil Meyer, the former Habitant goalie. For the Flyers, Bernie Perron. So, yep, we go to Atlanta. We're going to Atlanta. Eric Vale, pretty good scorer. Kurt Bennett, Tom Lasiak, good player. Brian Hextall, who was part of the Hextall dynasty. His father, Brian Hextall Sr., scored the cup-winning goal for the 1940 Rangers. Buster Harvey, Jacques Richard, who was pretty good, but he freaking fell flat after minor hockey and just couldn't find himself. Ray Coble, Tim Ecclestone, the former Blue I coached with the Blue Sting 68, Keith McCreary, Hillary Graves, Bobby Leiter, Larry Romanich, Randy Memory, Noel Price, Sean Lemieux, Dwight Billas, Bob Murray, Pat Quinn, yes, that Pat Quinn, iconic coach, Ed Kia, Dean Televus, and Jerry Byers. I don't know, they were agitated, and McLeish almost scored. Damn it. Chance by Dornhofer, no. Mercer, there's a fight. It's DuPont and Jacques Richard. I'm actually surprised because Jacques Richard's not really a fighter. DuPont beats him up. 5 minutes later, it's Graves. Do we take advantage? Crisp can't. Watson can't. Much later. Injury? Yeah, Birdie says he's fine. He's like, I'm fine. Gresham? Valesky, Big Bird. 5 minutes later. After the chance for Bill Barber. Another fight. And it's Clark and Lysiak. It's kind of weird. Bobby Clark fighting. Well, yeah, but Tom Lysiak? That's our fourth best scoring threat, and Lysiak, the third best scoring threat. Ah, damn. Penalty on Lonsberry. Richard and Nido. And we're down 1-0 at the 3 minutes. Unreal. Like, how are we doing this? Well, they get penalized. It's Pat Quinn. Do we take advantage? No, Leach cannot. We neutralized him. Uh-oh. From the clock, McCurry. No. Let's try to kill the clock. Go Skiers. Joey Shabadoo. His first from Dornhofer and McLeish. We're tied at 1. Fair warning, guys. If this game is tied after 3 periods, we don't go to overtime because the AHL, in their infinite wisdom, still kept regular season overtimes from happening, even though that it was supposed to be a World War II time-saving measure and didn't go to 1983. Last moment. Leach had a chance to win the game in the buzzer, and we can't. Reggie Leach gets foiled by the Flames. He had a hat trick against the Rangers, so he can't do it against the Flames, and it's a 1-1 tie. Both Murray and Watson with their first goals of the season. It's a tie. A nasty tie. Now, the rule of a tie. Yeah, it's funny. The losing or tie team with 1 goal. That's funny. All the ones down. All the home teams scored 1 goal. 3 of them lost, 1 tied. Nevertheless. So the rule for this thing is if I lose or tie a game, then the next game must be simulated until the Flyers win. So the next game for us is in St. Louis. Buffalo, Boston tie. Others beat Detroit. Chicago takes down LA. Minnesota takes down KC in the Sunshine Band. Montreal crushes the Rangers on Saturday Night Hockey. Drayden over Jackman. Faker scored for New York, but Lapointe, Wilson, Lafleur, Marchand by Yvan Lambert, Lafleur, and Petey Mahovlich. Washington loses to Pittsburgh. We beat St. Louis 4-1 as Perrant against East Belanger. We were down 1-0, but Leach scores another hat trick. Dave Schultz even scored. So yeah, Leach now is 19. Toronto goes to Vancouver on Saturday night and wins 6-2 as Doug Wilson beats Lockett. He's a 2-team guy. Don Laver and Bill Daly scored for Vancouver, but Lanny McDonald, Daryl Sittler, Bill Cowboy Flett, Ron Ellis, Dale Sittler, and Cowboy Flett, the goals. So our next game must be Rangers crush California. Pittsburgh beats Washington, who just can't do anything right. Minnesota Montreal on a Monday night. Minnesota gets shut down. Tuesday night, we are not playing. Islanders win. St. Louis wins, and Washington beats California. Ron Lowe beats Simmons. Williams scores for Cal. Mikkelsen, Williams, and Pyatt for Washington. So we don't. Wait, where's our games? Chicago crushes the Islanders 8-3. Wow. Detroit 7-5. Atlanta beats Kansas City. Montreal shuts out LA. I know Toronto gets their butts hit by Pittsburgh of all teams. There we go. 13-4-2. 6-6. California tied Boston 6-6. Holy crap. Boston was up 4-0. And they ended up having to score the save face. Wow. St. Louis, Minnesota tied. We play Vancouver, the third and final game in our thing. Bernie in net against Gary Suitcase Smith for the Canucks, who actually lost his position with Vancouver after he insulted the owner's wife, thinking that she was on the cover of a pet food tin. Ken Lockett and Bruce Bullock are your backups. The Canucks, with their green and blue, have Don Lever playing, John Gold, Jerry O'Flaherty, Kitchener, Dennis Vandergaard, Leo Rochford, Pauline Boudreau, Bobby Lalonde, Andre Boudrias, Chris Olofsson, Jerry Monahan, Bob Daly, Greg Bodie, Jerry Meehan, Abda Marco, Tracy Pratt, Rod Cedelbauer from the Kitchener Rangers, Mike Robitaille, John Grisdale, Dennis Kearns, Harold Snips, Billy Wilkinson, Jim Marr. 5 minutes to the game. They try to score. Much later, they score. It's Fat Lever, his 7th. Pull the lever from Boudreaux and Lalande. 3 more minutes. Oh, beautiful. Goal cover. 6 from Lonsbury. Terry Crisp with the assist. 3 more minutes. That's for Lonsbury. I thought he had it. Last moments of the first period. They score after Marco, the veteran. His third from Daly and Boudrias. It's now 2-1 Canucks. Seriously? The Canucks? They take another chance. O'Flaherty. Ew. Much later. That's the tie. Saroy. No. Vancouver Skiers. Does it again. He pulled the lever. His second of the night from Boudrias and Grisdale. What is with Boudrias? 3 assists. We're in trouble. We're in danger. We're losing to the Canucks. The freaking Canucks. Boudrias not connected. Reggie Leach. There's congratulations. His 20th. The Riverton rival from Bobby Clark and Joe Watson. 3-2. Much later. Murder She Wrote. You know, Angela Lansbury. Well, it's Ross Lansbury. His 6 from Dornhofer and Fenimp. That's the first penalty of the game. Lalonde. To be Abner. Schultz gets hit. Power play goal. Oris Kindrachek. His third from Clark and Clement. Give it a rest. We come back. Chance for Tom Blade to score. Now we can do second of the night from Bladen. It's 5-3. Wow. We escaped. Vancouver stop by the stop on the lawn, and what a third period we scored. Vancouver had it in 40 minutes, but we scored 4 goals each. Lonsbury, Kindrachek, and Lonsbury. We did it. 5-3. We win. See you later, alligator. Friday night. Atlanta beats Buffalo. Kansas City can't beat Montreal. I think that's 3 straight shutouts for Montreal. And the Islanders beat the Leafs. Saturday night. Our next game is in Toronto on Saturday night. Kansas City loses to Chicago. Cal and Minnesota tie. Islanders beat Vancouver. Boston beats their AJ. LA and Pittsburgh tie 3-3. And Detroit beats St. Louis 4-2. So we're going to be playing on a Saturday night next time. We have 30 points, so do the Islanders, but we do have a game in hand on them. Atlanta in third with 22 points. The Rangers have 17. They're in trouble. And the Smythe, Chicago with 26. Vancouver, St. Louis, and Minnesota are bunched up together. St. Louis leading by a point for that third and final spot. Kansas City, 7 points. At least they're not the worst team in the world. Prince of Wales, Boston, and Buffalo are fighting tooth and nail. Toronto's trying to hold off California. And in the North, Montreal looking good. LA and Pittsburgh fighting for second place. Yeah, LA and Pittsburgh. Detroit and Washington falling back. At least Washington's won 4 games. I know they won 8 in real life, but they have 4. Reggie has 20 goals, but Bill Goldsworthy has 19. And Rene Robert has 17. Other than that, it's like a dogfight. And Perron's second in goals against to Dan Bouchard, 174. Gary Edwards. Bunny the Rock has 3 shutouts. So Bunny the Rock's doing his job. Ken Dryden's doing his job. Montreal might just do it. Who knows? And who cares? Actually, I do care. Sorry, but I do care. Any Jeff Diamond, I do.